afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Josh Guillory Show. I am your grateful host, and in studio with me, hey man, my sidekick over here, Q Magic. What's up, buddy?
Good afternoon. How was the weekend and Thanksgiving?
It's good, ate a little bit, probably ate a little too much, but is that really a thing, man? You get a pass on Thanksgiving.
On Thanksgiving, you can have
No.
those calories don't count.
It's actually, it's a waiver.
Exactly.
Thanksgiving. It's a waiver.
It's like a leap year day.
All right, we're broadcasting from the KPEL studios, and we are pre-recording. It is November 28, 2025, the day after Thanksgiving. And we are very, very honored to be on KLFY Plus, Rumble.com. Look up the Josh Guillory Show and all of our streaming networks and our social media platforms for the show. And I believe my personal X page as well. I'm getting the yes right there, at Josh Guillory USA. All right. So many things in the news today, guys. Let's go to the auto pin. Remember that? Remember that little auto pin thing? Yeah, it was a little, yeah. Hey, pal, come a little closer. All right, so multiple reports that President Trump announced that he will nullify any of the Biden executive orders he believes was signed with an auto pin. That's what he says. Trump says a huge percentage of Biden's actions were machine signed, not personally approved. The article, several articles, and actually I noted, I stopped counting because most, if not every article from the mainstream guys that I saw, and I put my little notes right here, pushes back, cites all these legal memos, leans heavily on the idea that auto pins somehow have a long American history. Yeah, I could see it. Matter of fact, didn't all the signers of the Declaration of Independence, didn't Herbie Hancock have his auto pen?
Yeah, but I think that one was auto inking. I don't think it was auto signing.
They would love to have an auto inking machine. They would have definitely liked that. Definitely. Benjamin Franklin for sure. I want to know who got my Herbie Hancock joke there. But here's the deal. So that's what you're seeing, the left-leaning folks. Look, to be expected. I just don't call yourself a journalist, Just throw your opinion. We throw our opinion on here. It's all good. It's no big deal. But if we're wrong, we say we're wrong. We try not to be. Try to do our due diligence. But the real issue, it's not even the gadget. It's not even the auto pen itself. It was who was running the Biden administration? Who was running the government? I'm just pointing out some things, just asking. So President Trump posted that roughly 92% of Biden's orders were signed with auto pens. Man, if that's accurate, that is crazy. I mean, these are executive orders.
Yep.
I mean, I would imagine that's got to be in a league of its own. Golly. So Trump said that President Biden was not directly involved and warned about possible perjury. Oof. Now, I put my notes. Of course, auto pens date back to Jefferson, so both parties have used. See, I get a little smart aleck with me myself and with my notes too. All right, but there is now folks have some outlets have leaned on this DOJ memo, and it was under the Bush administration, full candor, and it says that auto pens are legally allowed for presidential signatures. So and that's true. And I would imagine when that was when that legal opinion, when that memo was written, I would imagine President George W. Bush knew what was going on and at least had some kind of mechanism in place, no pun intended, but to have checks and balances, make sure what he is saying is his intent, his actual, and I don't think the memo says executive orders. I think it says auto pens are legally allowed for presidential signatures. Okay. Before the auto pen, you had stamp. Still do. You have things. Maybe you had like the X, so you mark the certain kind of X. But you had this. Oh no. You had the seal before. You could seal. I mean, it's always been something. But I guess the seal's not really. That's more classified type stuff. Anyway, going down a little rabbit hole there. So the reports out there highlight Biden's, or in fairness, there are reports that do highlight, and we all know, we don't need these reports to know, hey, the former president's cognitive decline was there. Had a little health problems, as we know, and that's not debatable anymore. He had limited public appearances towards the end of his presidency. Maybe not as few appearances as when he was a candidate for presidency. That was like remarkable how you literally can, James Garfield, right? I watched that documentary that Jamie was telling us about. And, he was like, once you got the Republican nominee at that point, you were pretty much the president. But he did just like he campaigned from his house till it was absolutely necessary. Absolutely necessary. President Joe Biden campaigned in his basement, in the Biden basement, all of the 20 election.
Barely even went to debates.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, I think he was physically there.
Well, there's debates on that. I've seen wax dummies move more naturally than some of the appearances that we saw of our former president. I say that with love and kindness, seriously.
It's like Disneyland. They have the wax museum and the ones that move. It's going to move more fluidly than Joe ever did.
Come on. You ever get scared of those? Did you ever go to those?
I find them to be so incredibly creepy.
Yeah. Well, okay, so what's more creepy? Those or Joe Biden running to or crawling to you to smell your hair?
I definitely find Joe Biden to be the creepier here.
Really?
Which is telling.
This one's ice cream. My goodness. And here's another note, though, because we're talking about basically the intent of the former president, and did you actually do what did it do what you said it was going to do, what you actually told your staffers to do? And the reason why that's important is because both of these gentlemen or have faced, continue, in this case, Trump continues to face age-related scrutiny, as he should, as every president should. As every president, no matter the age, if you have some concerns, there's built-in protections that, quite frankly, the last administration, the last team ignored. I don't know if I'm upset with that because I think Kamala Harris is our president had they acted. I think she wins re-election. I think there's no way she lets it happen. All right, how we doing on time, my man? Good. Let me keep going. So, again, just to finish what we typically expect to see, in this kind of situation, the folks on the left are trying to delegitimize the Trump's message, and Trump's trying to delegitimize Biden-era policies, and you're going to see this thing work itself out. It's not even new era. I mean, we just hadn't seen it before. We hadn't seen a president that didn't sign 92% of the auto pen signatures. Well, and Trump said the executive orders. So I'm helping the former president. I'm throwing all the other stuff in because I don't know, genuinely, I don't know the legalities of whether the auto pen can be signed on executive orders or pardons. I don't know that answer. But what I could reasonably conclude, if I put my lawyer hat on, I would imagine that the person has to have the authority to give an order, and it has to be properly and effectively and clearly communicated from the person that has the authority to whoever it is the person that the message or the order is intended to be given to. That's pretty good, Q. Summarize.
I agree. And
yeah, so look, let's take a little break. And when we take a little break, when we come back, I want to kind of dive in this a little bit more. It is worth diving a little bit more into. Q, don't go anywhere. It's going to be great. All right, guys, stick around. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show. We're broadcasting from the KPEL, well, we're pre-recording from the KPEL studios here in Lafayette, Louisiana, also on rumble.com. Look up the Josh Guillory Show and KLFY Plus. Love to be in your either living room or whatever device you are watching us on. Very happy for you to be part of this discussion, and very happy indeed. All right, so we're talking about President Biden's auto pen. Very close relationship these two had. President Trump dropping some stuff by the time this video airs a few days earlier. Okay, it's new to us right now. And yeah, President Trump says he's doing away with all the executive orders and all the executive orders that he believes was signed by AutoPen and not by the former president. We're going to see where that goes legally. We've seen the backlash in the media. Trump had to know that. And what do you expect? You communicate in the media, so the media's that's where it's at. And I commend him because, maybe if more folks in office would do that, hey, maybe if I would have done that more, maybe some misperceptions, being nice, could have been clarified. All right, so let's kind of let's unravel this as it actually matters to us, because this legal question, and let's unravel it as it relates to our country too, because this legal question needs to be answered, and the courts are going to answer it. So we all remember, I know this wonderful audience knows, I know we remember what those last Biden years felt like. I mean, the last year was really bad. The last 2 years weren't that great. They watched an elderly president, all of us, the American people, struggle through interviews, stumble through some events. We saw that. We saw foreign leaders have to kind of, hey, Joe, we're over here. Camera's over here. But also lean completely, like we saw a president lean completely on staffers, on people other than him, other than his own mind, okay? But to manage his schedule, his messaging, it's all good to have people help you carve your message, but your message has to be yours. Otherwise, you're just reading things that don't matter. Or maybe it matters, but I don't know. I just teach their own. Teach their own. I just feel like you should care. But leaned on all these folks for all these things. And really, he leaned on them for his capacity. But for them, I don't know if decisions are being made. We know that. We know that. And that's the backdrop to this AutoPen story. I'm very eager to see how it's presented to the court. I'm very eager to see if the question of law to the court is very limited to just this incident, because that might not mean future. I doubt it. I don't see the court granting a writ of certiorari, the permission to argue, had to have the privilege to argue, and it is a privilege to argue in front of the United States Supreme Court. Those rulings usually have to affect a lot of people, or right a wrong. Right a judicial wrong, or to something that large of a degree, which this is. And the Supreme Court, ultimately, I have a feeling, or the courts will give us some guidance. There's no doubt we are President Clinton pushed the limit. When we say push the limit, he was within the limit of the law because the law was silent. So we got some case law after his administration. We got some case law after George W. Bush, and we are getting a whole bunch of case law from President Trump. Both terms. Both terms. I've been busy. But again, all the AutoPen, we're missing the point, or what the stories in the news right now, in the media, is kind of missing the point. The debate is about governance. The debate is about governance, no matter how we got there. Even if President Trump has a personal vendetta any reason to slap down the former administration, no matter what that reason is, if we look at it objectively, this needs to be settled. And we're here. It's a legitimate legal question. All right, so, but the debate is all about governance. It's all about clarity. It's about who exercised executive authority when the country needed decisions made by the President of the United States, not a ring of advisors carrying papers in and out of the Oval Office on top of pizza boxes because we got to pull a late-nighter for the big guy. Like, come on. And where is Hunter at? I'm just curious. We hadn't heard about him. We hadn't heard from him in a while.
I'm wondering, were these signed before 8 o'clock at night? Because remember, Joe, he got a little fuzzy after 8.
President Biden?
Yeah,
man.
That's why he failed the debate, remember?
Well, oh, yeah, that's right. I can't believe some of this stuff. I just can't believe they actually say it. You know what I mean? Like, hey, this is the reason why we didn't do it. Man, we were good with you didn't prepare. Got it. Like, hey, TMI, buddy. Got it. Don't need to know.
Amen.
Kudos. You admitted that you weren't prepared. You didn't say it like that, but you kind of did. Okay, got it. Got it. Anyway, how we looking? All right. So, again, and while we're on that note with President Biden, no one's here to attack the person. I don't take any pride here attacking an individual person. Age comes for all of us. But the presidency is a little different. It just is. It demands full engagement. None of us are in that. And there's only been 45 people that know it. 2 of them served 2 terms, 2 non-consecutive terms. But only 45 people in the history of 250 years. So just let that settle in. And it demands everything. It demands your everything. It demands someone who reads the documents, or at least the briefs of the documents, at least a summary of the documents, understands the consequences, and signs with intention. And that is what the court is really, I think, going to look at. Intention. All right. Okay, guys, stick around. We'd ordinarily be going to the phone lines, but this is pre-recorded, so Quentin's going to pretend like he's some of our Stick around, guys. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show, broadcasting from the KPEL studios, also on rumble.com, KLFY Plus. Go to rumble.com or YouTube, check us out, the Josh Guillory Show, and you can see us on KLFY Plus as well. All right, let's switch topics here a little bit. Q Magic's in the studio with me today. Let's see here. Andrew Mark Miller wrote a good little article on Fox News. He's reporting that universities and school districts across the country, well, they were refraining from, some of them were refraining from Thanksgiving as a day of mourning, okay? Hosting decolonizing sessions. Absolutely, we don't want to colonize. All the colonizers, get out the way. That's the kind of parent you want in your kids' class. Man. Oh, yeah, so they're decolonizing sessions. They're having those. I'm just saying, if you were colonizing people, you better run. This lady's on a mission. Organizing road trips. Ooh, productive for these little kiddos. Road trips to protest in Plymouth. And pushing DEI-based reinterpretations of the holiday of shocker. Some elite in education is pushing this. Actually, it's not. No, it is. It's some school districts. It is. It's like people in charge. This is nuts. Some schools are teaching students that Thanksgiving is rooted in genocide and colonial oppression, replacing gratitude with grievance. Now, look, I don't know where the truth lies, all right, on this whole Thanksgiving thing. I get it. It probably didn't go down like Miss Susan Murphy taught me in first grade. It probably didn't. But it also didn't go down like these folks that identify with extreme policies that don't make sense to 99.8% of the population. Okay? And it's just